CIF. Welcome to another installment of How to Master. And today we're going to learn how to master the Pokemon Generations set. This is the 20th anniversary special set that Pokemon released back in 2016. And it actually came out in February 22nd of 2016. So just before the Pokemon Go boom was this set that got released. And today we're going to cover it because I feel like it's a relevant set in the sense that Celebrations right now is the 25th anniversary set for Pokemon. And so I feel like Generations is kind of the forgotten set about where the Pokemon TCG is right now. But I think it's a significant set because it did come out before that initial boom that kind of brought a lot of people back into the hobby. So it was overlooked in that sense because XY Evolutions kind of just really took everything over. When Pokemon Go came out and then XY Evolutions came out after that, it was just kind of this big jump back into Pokemon. But again, a lot of people forgot about sets like Generations because again, it had come out before that initial boom that had happened here. So what we're going to do is take a look at how many cards are in this set and how many you will need to complete the set. And then also, if you're interested in mastering the set, we're going to take a look at that as well and trying to complete all those cards. And then, of course, go over the cost or rough estimate of the cost that it's going to cover you for completing the set. So let's go ahead and get started here and talk about the set itself. There are 83 cards in the regular set, but there are also an additional 32 cards in the Radiant Collection. So much like my previous video, the Legendary Treasures, there's also a Radiant Collection in the Generation set. And again, pretty cool concept because again, this was still fairly new for the Pokemon TCG to be doing this type of thing where they are putting a special set or I guess a subset within a set, kind of like again you've seen with Hidden Fates, Shining Fates, and those types of sets there. So very cool that there was a 32 Radiant card collections to also collect in here. So in all, you're looking at around 115 cards to complete your traditional set that you would get from opening up booster packs and things like that. Going along with that, all right, we are also going to look at sealed products. So we'll start there and just kind of take a look at where the market is at right now for this awesome set. So Pokemon Generations, I'm on TCG Player right now, as you guys can tell. And yeah, right now, I mean, there is no booster box, as with most traditional sets, or excuse me, most special sets, there is no booster box. And so you can see here that the Elite Trainer box is what's going to give you kind of the most bang for your buck in terms of getting the most packs in one product. But again, kind of like Legendary Treasures, you can see that I feel like the dream of being able to rip open packs to complete this set, I think has kind of gotten away from us because let's be real, if we scroll down here and take a look at the price per pack, it's hovering right around that $33 mark. And so I just feel like it's gonna feel bad to spend 33 bucks each time to rip open a Generations pack, and who knows how many it's gonna take for you to open up before you complete the set. I just feel like by the time it's all said and done, you're gonna be out a couple $1,000s, and not gonna feel too good about that because I do feel like, and we'll show it off right now, that you can complete this set for a lot cheaper if you were just to go out and purchase single cards and things like that. So again, you can kind of take a look at some of the sealed product that's allocated with the set. Some really cool Mythical collection boxes, and we'll talk about some of these promos later on if you're trying to master the set, of course. And then these awesome red and blue collection boxes. I think they're, for whatever reason, they're missing, well, there's the Venusaur one, and I'm looking, oh yeah, here's the Pikachu one, and there's the Blastoise one. So yeah, all of them are here. So yeah, some really cool products that got released. And what we're going to do to start getting an idea of how much it's going to cost to try and master this set if we went out and bought all the cards is we're going to hop over to my favorite resource and website for tracking. And again, I'm not sponsored by TCG Collector at all, but this is my favorite place to start whenever I basically am interested in trying to complete a set or master a set because, again, on this website, they're going to list every single card that you need. Again, just a specific example here, if I go and pick up a Venusaur EX, all I do is click on here, add it, it'll give me that little star to kind of make me feel good and let me know that I've got all the Venusaur EXs I need to basically have that part of my collection complete. But also taking a look, if you notice that there's a third sort of card index icon on here, then you'll know that there's more than just the standard card and the reverse holo card that you're going to need to get if you're trying to master the set, of course. So you're looking down here. There is a 20th anniversary. This was a UK promo exclusive, and there's also a Toys R Us, and that was kind of the US version of this promo card here. So there are two variants that you're going to have to go and look for if you do plan to master this set. And again, TCG Collector is a great resource to be able to track all of the cards that you're going to need, and basically any variants of cards that you might not have known. For example, let's look at the water energy. You would have thought, hey, I just need the normal and the reverse holo and I'm good, but there is a World Championship promo as well that came out with this Cody Walensky deck. And so that's a card that, again, if you're trying to master the set, you're going to want to have to go out and look for and complete. Thankfully, these World Championship promos, especially for this set, there was no really popular Pokemon that was in that. So they are relatively cheap to collect. Like, honestly, you can find some of these cards for around $1 or even less than that. But here you'll see the Radiant Collection, you can tell that I've actually started trying to collect the Radiant Collection. I've actually started there because, again, these are kind of some of the cards that drew me in to this set, to be wanting to collect it, and those types of things there. So again, great resource. Like I said, it's got all the card numbers listed. It's got rough TCG player or market price estimates over here on the right hand side. Another cool thing I forgot to show in my last video is that if you wanted to actually take a look at what some of these cards look like, you can just display these cards as images. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't highlight them unless you hover over them, or unless you have them in your collections. For example, let's go back to this Venusaur over here. If I were to add this to my collection and say, yep, I got it, it's going to highlight it now. You're going to be able to see it a lot clearer. So a little bit of annoyance to have to kind of go through the website that way, but at the end of the day, you'll get to see the images of some of these cards, and you can start to see some of the cool cards that are in here in this set. Some really unique, Nimakuni trainer card, which is really unique, some of these other cards. This is one from one of those special collection boxes. Some really unique energy cards. I feel like they never had done this kind of pattern before on an energy card, and then all the awesome Radiant Collection cards, which are just fantastic. I love this Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard line. You can kind of see them growing up with their trainer there. Super cool. Again, the holo patterns these cards are just fantastic. The Frostlass holo pattern is fantastic and speaks for itself. The Dedenne one is amazing. The Jirachi has a really cool holo pattern. Even the Meowstic does. This one you can kind of tell a little bit on Yveltal, and when you see it in person, the holo just shines off these cool kind of little backgrounds they have within the card. So this is what makes these sets, I think, super unique and super cool and desirable, because they are unique in that sense. I do have this awesome Pikachu card. To me, one of the best Pikachu cards out there. Just really cool. Kagomura Himeno is the artist behind that beauty of a card there. And so you can kind of see what some of the cards are in this set. So if you're looking to complete just this traditional set, again, there's 115 cards, including the Radiant Collection. You're looking at around $460, which is honestly not too bad for a set that's now been out for actually coming up on its 6-year birthday here. I don't think that's too bad of a price to be able to complete the set. And again, if you are looking to master the set, what we'll do is we'll take a look at what you're going to need and what cards you're going to have to go out and hunt for and look for to be able to do that. And I will say this ahead of time. All the promo cards and all the variants of cards that you're going to need to master this set are going to cost you more than what the actual set itself costs, which is kind of crazy, but I think it goes to show just how unique and valuable some of these promo cards are that you're going to be hunting for. So I'm over here on Bulbapedia, and what's cool about Bulbapedia, unlike the Pokemon collector website that I just showed you guys, obviously Bulbapedia will show you all the cards that are in here. This is the English version. This is obviously the Japanese version. It'll show you all the cards, but it's not going to be as extensive as the TCG collector website is. It'll show you the Radiant Collection cards and all that stuff. So it'll kind of just tell you everything that's in here. Not going to tell you how many, the reverse holos that are in here, or any World Championship promos or anything like that. So that's the one limitation about Bulbapedia, but it does give you these additional cards that are kind of like promos that TCG Collector does tell you, but this gives you like a specific example of that. So again, for example, you'll see here there are 16 of these what I call stamp promos. There's the 20th anniversary stamp ones that are UK exclusive, and then there's obviously the Toys R Us ones that came out in the US, and some of them only were released in Canada, like this Tangela, so maybe a little bit tougher to find, especially for you US folk that are looking for these cards. And then there's also the 2 alternate art cards that came from the X and Y Premium Trainers Collection, which is a beautiful product with a ton of cool alternate art promos in there. But you'll see that there's a Jolteon and a Team Flare Grunt that's also in there that you're going to need to collect if you're searching for that master set. Okay, now with that being said, and I'm going to show off some of these cards here in just a sec, but with that being said, the hunt doesn't start there, because if you want to truly master this set, you are going to want to go and look for some of those mythical collection cards, and then also the cards from the red and blue collection, which I would encourage you to do so if you do want to master this set, because in my opinion those are some of the best cards that got released within this this set and this product here. So let's take a look on eBay just for some examples that I'm giving you guys here. So right now we're just looking at the stamp promos, all right, and these are the Toys R Us version ones. You can see here the Toys R Us stamp on here. Now the UK promo ones, the 20th anniversary stamped ones, have that 20th anniversary logo, and it's pretty much just replacing this Toys R Us stamp with that 20th anniversary stamp. So pretty much the exact same card, the exact same print, exact same artwork, everything's the same, just the stamps are different obviously, but the costs do vary. I feel like the UK ones, the 20th anniversary stamp ones, are a lot more expensive than their Toys R Us counterparts. But all in all, there are 16 of these cards total. There are 8 Pokemon to have to collect, and then there's obviously the 2 variants of each Pokemon. So you're looking to spend somewhere in the vicinity, and this is actually going to be the most expensive part, is almost $370, and that's based on what I found on eBay off recent most sold listings, which is kind of crazy to me that this is these cards, these 16 cards cost that much. But I guess the reality is there's maybe just not that many left out there. A lot of them still come sealed, and so obviously people want the fresh sealed versions. I don't know if they're trying to grade them or whatnot, but yeah, these cards got they've come up in price quite a bit since the last time I started looking at them, and so that's kind of like a huge dent as far as budget goes, because that's almost the cost of what the whole set's going to cost you just for these 16 variants of these cards. So something to obviously think about as you guys are searching after those. And then the other 2 cards that we had just mentioned, he had this awesome, beautiful full art Jolteon. It's an alternate art card. This is back when they actually labeled the alternate arts with this little A logo down here, which I wish it kind of still did. With some of these like tag team alternate arts and all the new alternate arts that have come out in the Sword and Shield era, I thought that'd be cool, so you can kind of distinguish the card. But regardless, this was a really cool one. And then obviously you had the Team Flare Grunt. Both of these came from that X and Y Premium Collection box, which had again a ton of beautiful full art alternate art cards that were in there. These 2, however, are not going to cost you nearly as much. The Jolteon you can find for around $10. And then this Team Flare Gun you can find for around $5, about $15 combined for those 2 cards there. So nothing too bad. One card I almost forgot to mention is the card that comes in that that Generations Elite Trainer box, and just like Shining Fates and just like Celebrations, and those cards that have the the promo cards that come with it, like the Gold Star Greninja, or the Hidden Fates Bird Trio stained glass card. This was the card that came in the Elite Trainer box. So kind of honestly, compared to those 2 cards that I just mentioned, kind of a lackluster card because it wasn't a full art or anything like that, but still a pretty cool card. It's unique. I mean, you can see the cool flower pattern surrounding the border of the card. It's better than staring at the ugly yellow border that we're all tired of seeing in English cards. But yeah, I think it's still a pretty neat card, but I think a little lackluster compared to some of the other cards that are in this set. But yeah, this is another card that you're going to need to find. You can honestly find this card for about $5, so nothing too expensive or crazy, which is nice to know. I think there were so many Generations Elite Trainer boxes produced that kind of drove the price of this card down to that affordable price. So yeah, don't need to break the bank for that one, but did want to include that obviously in this list if you're trying to master the set. Now you can stop there and say, yep, that's it, I've collected all the cards, because according to our friend over here, the TCG Collector website, that's really all you would need to master the set, right? That's all the variants that they have listed on here. There's no other cards that you're missing, and that would complete that, and you would technically have mastered the set. But like I said, I would encourage everyone to continue to hunt, and I'll tell you why right now, and you'll see these cards why. These mythical cards I think are so awesome, and honestly a little bit underrated because none of them really get talked about. But these are really cool. Some of the first, full art, alternate art type cards that we've seen. Not necessarily alternate art because there was no other cards that got released with these. These are just special promos. But man, the artwork on some of these cards are just incredible. And so anyways, this is all 11 that you would need in your collection, with the Mew being the most expensive one. Mew is going to run you around $20. But if you want to get all of these, you're looking somewhere in the vicinity of around $90 for all of these cards. And again, there's 11 of them in this collection. And this is obviously certainly cheaper to buy this way than to try and buy each of those collection boxes that I showed in a previous page, which was right back in the beginning here. So you can see almost each box is running you well over $100 now at this point. And so it would feel bad to buy this box just to rip open this card, or excuse me, take this card out of the box there. It just kind of feels silly. So yeah, this is definitely the better route to go, is just to buy these cards as singles. And again, they'll cost you right around that $90, with the Mew being the most expensive, of course, probably the most popular Pokemon in this. But yeah, beautiful cards there. And then it doesn't stop there. There's the next set of cards, which are some of my favorite in the entire hobby. I'm a sucker for cards that feature multiple Pokemon on the card. And so not the best picture. I do apologize for that. Maybe I can scroll to here, maybe a little bit better here to take a look. But yeah, these are the 4 cards that I was talking about. They're in that red and blue collection box that came out within this set. And again, you can just see, I mean, the artwork speaks for itself on these cards. You've got Venusaur out there flying around with Scyther and Vileplume, and then you've got Pikachu, Shock and stuff with Jolteon and Electabuzz. You've got Blastoise up there swimming around with Gyarados and Vaporeon, and then of course everyone's favorite, the Charizard, kind of flying around with Spitting Fire with Flareon and Magmar in the background. Just super, super neat looking cards. To everyone's surprise, and to my surprise, honestly, when I started researching for this video, the Charizard's actually not the most expensive card out of these 4. It's actually that Pikachu EX. And I don't know if it had to do with limitations of the release of the product. Maybe there was less of those red and blue collection boxes with the Pikachu on it. I don't know exactly why. But yeah, that Pikachu card's going to cost you somewhere around the vicinity of about $50 in near mint condition on TCG Player. So yeah, all in all, if you're looking to complete that whole set, you're looking at around $150 to get all 4 of these cards in that collection there. So with all that being said, there's also some World Championship promos, like I mentioned earlier. And we're going to take a look at one of them. This is probably the coolest one because it's actually the only Pokemon that's in the World Collection set that you need to complete this set, or excuse me, to master this set. All the other ones are just trainer cards, and so the honest truth is, because World Championship cards are already not popular and they're already super cheap because of that, the trainer ones are especially cheap because, again, nobody really collects these cards or likes to collect these cards. And so yeah, they're pretty cheap. Honestly, I can find most of them for less than $1. I had them all right around that $1 mark. So I had about $10 for you to collect all 9 cards. But this Wobbuffet, probably definitely the coolest one. Really cool artwork. It's part of the Radiant collection. Just happens to have the trainer signature on there, which makes it obviously that World Championship exclusive. It's got this unique back. This was used in 2018, but he just happened to use this year's variant of this card, even though this card was obviously released in 2016. But yeah, they still obviously give it credit to Generations because that's where this card and the set that it came from. So there you go. That's all the cards. So one last thing that I always like to finish with is, can we go hunting for this all at once? Is there somebody selling a master set, on eBay that'll save us all this time of having to go and search through these cards one at a time? And the answer is yes, I did find one. However, the only issue, and this is actually probably the best one I've seen so far because it does have all of the cards in the normal set. It has all of the Radiant collection cards. It's got all the reverse holos and all those variants of cards there. It even has, as you can tell in this picture, all of the mythical Pokemon that you need, which is amazing. It's got the red and blue collection cards that you need. Very amazing. It's got that Shaman hiding in the corner there. And it's got the 8 US versions of these cards with the stamp cards, the Toys R Us promos. However, it is missing the UK version of them, which again are the more expensive variants of these cards. So it is missing those, and it is missing the World Championship promo cards there, which again, those are cost you maybe $10 to complete. So that's not a big deal. The bigger deal is that it's missing these, the 20th anniversary stamped variants of these cards here. And so that to me makes this price point a little bit steep because we haven't even mentioned exactly how much it would cost you to master this set, which I'm going to reveal right now. So again, the 115 cards that are in the normal set, all right, and those are just cards that you would rip out of packs. All right, there's 115 including the Radiant Collection. That's $460. And then if you include the price of all the mythical cards, the cards from the Red and Blue Collection, the stamp promos, all 16 variants of those cards, the Jolteon and Team Flare Grunt cards from that X and Y Premium Collection, and then the Shaman that came in the Elite Trainer box, and then again all the World Championship promo cards. You combine all of that, you're looking at a grand total of $1,100 to master this set if you were to go and buy singles at TCG player price or eBay recently sold prices. So for that reason, I'm looking at this set here. I actually am following it. I have it on my watch list, but the reality is, you know, they do have a make offer button on here, which is nice. Maybe you can negotiate on this. Maybe this is something I'm actually going to be interested in negotiating, because again, I don't have this set yet. Something I definitely want to have in my collection someday in a mastered form. But yeah, what really shies me away from that is that it's over the valuation that I have right now, which is $1,100. And on top of that, it's not a complete master set because it is missing the more expensive UK versions of those stamp cards that are right over here. So a little bit of a bummer, but maybe they're just a deal that could be worked out at some point. And if not, then I feel like I wouldn't mind taking the long route, so to speak, and just going and searching for those cards individually. So anyways, that's the video. That's what I have here for you guys today. Again, hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully I can, you know, I showed you guys the tools that I use to, you know, search for how much each product is going to cost and those types of things there. Yeah. Hopefully you maybe saw some cards you didn't know existed or that you needed, you know, if you're trying to go after this set. And so anyways, I'm excited to continue this series going. I do obviously have a ton of sets in mind that I want to cover and go over and how I would go about trying to master or collect those sets. Because again, I think now is a great time to be doing this with PSA being shut down and you know, grading cards just kind of being in a weird spot right now. I feel like collecting and completing binder sets is kind of where it's at right now. You know, for me, I'm having the most fun doing that. I've slowed down on buying cards that I want to get graded because again, things just aren't opening up, and it looks like they're not going to open up the rest of this year. I mean, excuse me, they're not going to open up till later on this year. So I feel like I might as well just kind of focus on stuff that I'm going to be able to enjoy immediately, so to speak, and that's trying to complete some of these sets. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.